Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole. As here's my insight going toward this summer's main handicap races in Saratoga, New York, with the Whitney Stakes and Del Mar with the Pacific Classic. Now, the two heavy hitters in the Whitney Stakes are going to be no other than Sovereignty again and Magnitude. And my opinion is status quo. I'm not playing either one of them. I think Magnitude doesn't need this race after winning in Dubai and beating Sovereignty and Stephen Foster. So he's going to get a pass. He doesn't need to win this race. He's the winner in, and he's already proven twice that he's already in the Breeders' Cup Classic with the two wins that he showed. Sovereignty is the horse outside looking in now, was presumably going to be the big favorite for the Breeders' Cup Classic this year. That's what I thought at the beginning of the year. And he's regressed tremendously, in my opinion, in the last race where he ran to Stephen Foster. Though I'm not using excuses, he caught off track. No excuses. He kept on backpedaling after half a mile and did show little impact. His first race was much better when he was too keen. His first race out running in the Oakland handicap. This will be his third race out. Most handicappers like the third race going into the cycle form, stating this will be his best effort. I don't think it needs to be his best effort. He needs a win. That's what he needs. Because I don't think he's going to participate in the class if he doesn't get a win. That's my opinion. And as I mentioned before in my last video, do you send the horse out to stud, try to keep those breeding prices heavy around the 200,000 side, or do you gamble now and see if he's able to win the Whitney? And I think he needs a win. I don't see any things, ladies and gentlemen, his second is going to show anything, or third is going to make me optimistic that he's going to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Like I said, Magnitude's a horse that's sitting pretty. He doesn't even need to show up in this race or even participate in the race because he's already win and you're in, he's already in. So that's my reflection. I'm taking a live long shot once I get horse the whole field right now. I'm not playing Magnitude because I don't think they need to win this race, in my opinion. Sovereignty is going to be another favorite again after not showing anything, especially in the last race. It could happen, but I'm not taking the value minus value play on Sovereignty less than 8-5. I'm not doing it. You know, if he does win, then I'm waiting for him in the Breeders' Cup Classic where I should get more value around 4 or 5 to 1. Yes. Why 4 or 5 to 1? Well, I'll mention that after I give you my analysis on the Pacific Classic. Now let's go on to the Pacific Classic. Pacific Classic, supposedly now, Nysos is in the Pacific Classic. He reneged and did not want to go into Whitney Stakes. Kind of surprising. It's a question mark showing up that maybe he's getting not well in health right now. That's a question. I know it's not know for sure, but he's been healthy all year. But this horse hasn't had a healthy day in a long time. As you remember, he was out for over a year because of his health issues. Maybe that's returned again. He's going to be running against journalism, and I'm not excited. As mentioned in the last video, I wouldn't take this horse wouldn't take him a 4 to 5, 6 to 5. He was 1 to 2. Why was he 1 to 2? A horse that I picked, full surround to win the race, was withdrawn with foot problems. He beat a horrible field. There was anything in this race that resembled any kind of type 1 runners, neither type 2. I mean, it was just a god-awful race for the San Diego Handicap. I throw that race out. I throw journalism out. He broke back once again. And I don't know what's occurring with some of these top older horses. This is a la Baeza. Now journalism can't pop out of the gate. So that's also a big red flag going to the Pacific Classic. Nysos is not proven in a mile and a quarter. He's not even really proven in a mile and 1/8. He came second to Forever Young in Dubai, and not Dubai, but Saudi Cup when he ran at a mile and 1/8. But that was at a one-turn mile and 1/8. So with his speed, and he's a much better horse, but I'm still looking for value play. Nysos should beat journalism. I'm throwing journalism way out of the race. If he comes in second, I don't have him. I'm not picking, definitely not to win. I'd rather have Nysos, not only because Nysos beat journalism in the Met Mile, he just faster. The only thing that's going to hurt Nysos is I still don't think this horse is a mile and 1/2. A mile and 1/4 for the Pacific Classic. So my respect is like anything else. My analytic view to this race, I'm looking for a live long shot. Those two are out. I'm not getting value with Nysos or journalism, so I'm looking for a price in a Pacific Classic. I'll give you further information in my next video when I know who will be running in the race. Now, Breeders' Cup news into the Classic. Now, with horses claiming now we're getting 3.5 months into the Classic. Remember, the Classic is on Halloween Day on the 31st, not November, but it's close. Right now, the picture will be much clearer after the Whitney and the Pacific Classic. And the reason why I state this is that you know that either Magnitude is being saved, is Sovereignty doesn't win, then it's almost is more likely he's out of the classic. I don't if he doesn't win the Whitney, he might be out of the classic. And I think that Bill Mott has to get his head in order and trying to figure out what's wrong with Sovereignty and Baeza. Now, if they were running to the form, probably the best horse right now, second behind Magnitude is Baeza because he doesn't break well the last two races. He was running into Magnitude. He closed the margin to a length after being left behind the gate by 4 lengths. He did almost exactly the same thing in the Alashiba when he lost. So Baeza for not winning any races, that horse is very dangerous, definitely an X factor. Also going into the class, you're going to have Forever Young. Let's see how Forever Young shapes up after an incredible second in the Bike Cup. He'll be running in the Jockey Gold Cup. Now, I also got him on upset alert. I got to figure who's going to be in the field right now. The reason why I have him upset alert, he hasn't run since Dubai, came in second. And the big question mark, he hasn't run over Big Sandy at Belmont. He's going to be running the Jockey Gold Cup at the new Belmont Park, and that's going to be interesting. So knowing that he hasn't run on this racetrack and he's going to be on a layoff, he's also on upset alert. So right now I have Magnitude on upset alert for the Whitney and also Forever Young in the Jockey Gold Cup. These two horses. And right now, the way that Nisos might get in, if he runs really well, he's going to be adding more speed in the race toward Magnitude in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And that's going to be a big cautionary horses because all the closers are going to be licking their chops waiting for these horses to land. And what about Knightsbridge? He just won the Meadowlands Cup. They didn't know this horse could handle the turn. They had to try it out. He ran a 2-turn at the Meadowlands Cup, and he won convincingly. He beat Skipping Longstocking. They're the only 2 horses in the race, so I'm not going to make a big case of it. But there's that, what's going on now? Is Knightsbridge now able to run in the Classic, meaning it'll be 3 speed horse or 2, to run with Magnitude. That means that it's going to be Nisos who could race slightly. Magnitude wants to be on the front end. He's going to be pulling the rider, and the horse that's going to be up right on his neck is going to be Knightsbridge if he falls. And what if Bill Mott uses Knightsbridge as a rabbit to get to Magnitude so you have Sovereignty and Baeza have the big kick? If that's the case, but Bill Mott would have 3 horses in the Classic, and still I really believe that Sovereignty, if he turns it around, will win the Classic. I know that's because it's, how you say, ego or anything like that. I just believe this horse has a tremendous kick. Now, from his 4-year-old form to his 3-year-old form, he has regressed. But Sovereignty, with that big close, and if you forgot how his big flows, look at the Derby, the Kentucky Derby closed in on an off track. And even better than that, I always thought the horse race I still enjoy was the Fountain Youth when he closed on the leader and won convincingly. That was River of Thames in that race. I know that was a 3-year-old right now. That's a big question mark. So how I look at my fair odds, I honestly have Attitude, even with that big, against that big illustrious field that could be in the Classic at 2-1 easy. Second choice, I hear a lot of handicappers thinking that Forever Young belongs to be the second choice. And right now, I don't concur with that. I think Baeza will be right second choice because people are going to be in love with those 2 races where he broke bad and came on. And in productive races, Stephen Foster, where Magnitude won, and also where the open handicap with Juan Barrio freaked that day, and he was closing into that Juan Barrio. So watch out. So I think second choice realistically would be Baeza. I think he's going to get a lot of play. Third choice, really not Forever Young right now. I believe, though, the Dubai, the Saudi Cup are still remarkable, 7-2. Sovereignties might be a co-third choice, fourth choice, believe it or not. Who would ever thought that at the beginning of the new year, which is only 8 months ago, close to 8 months, 7.5 months ago? Who would ever thought that? Knightsbridge will still be a prize. I think with that competitive field and with that speed, I think I see Knightsbridge going off at 10-1. And there's other horses going to participate. Journalism, if he does run well in the Pacific Classic and he gets in, I see honestly Journalism being 10 to 12-1. You got to remember the East Coast bias leads to the East Coast horses. They don't have to travel as far as the West Coast horses. And let's be fair, ladies and gentlemen, the horses out east run the better races. They have the better horses and now the better jockeys. Right now, the California just been just decimated by many tracks closing. A lot of the big owners that used to be on the east, have a stable out west, don't have that anymore because of everything's going on. The lower purses. They might send decent horses out to California, but they won't do that right now. I think right now, realistically, though, things are going to be different over here. So this is what I have for you. This is James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole. We're winning in history. We're neck and neck. Have a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
So, no, gee, knock a little harder, I guess, that's all I could, recommend, otherwise.
You're in my video, honey.